My topic today is on cold water fasting. If you're on my OMAD plan and you want to do this, keep going. Just replace your beverages with water, preferably ice water. It makes you feel more full, burns more calories. It's really, really good. So that's the long and the short of that. If you are finding this video because you want to know how to fast, you're in the right place. So I'm just going to go through and give a series of considerations of things you need to do when you approach fasting, because that's where the magic happens. First of all, have your beverages handy. This is just a HEB spring water here, and basically I'm going to put this in the freezer for 2 hours. It's going to be nice and crunchy, and I'm going to punch it, and it's going to break it so I have little chips of ice in there, and I can chew on them. I feel like I've had a lot more than just water. But it's the vexing, the counter vexing of with the pleasure I receive from the fast, the next level, the high, the clarity, the mental excellence. It's going to contrast the discomfort I'm going to have, and it's going to put me in that ultra headspace, which is why people fast. It takes you to the next level. So that's what this video is about. I'm going to try to keep it short. I have a lot to say. So here's our first rule. Keep your beverages handy. That's number one. Freeze a couple different containers. I have some aqua hydrate containers. They're about 1 liter, and I take them with me to go. Pretend they're like a lost handicapped child, and you have to hold them by the hand everywhere. Take it with you. It'll feel weird for a while, but keep it with you. Just take off the lid, take a swig, and keep it with you so that you always have it, and it'll be like you won the prize. You'll start to feel like it's your wallet, like it's your ID, something you have to value, you can't afford to lose, your work badge, your ID badge at work, something like that. Kind of weird, but think like that because you need your beverages close. Now, how do you get to that next level in fasting? First of all, don't make the mistake that most people make when fasting. They treat it like any other day, except they take out the things that they get to eat. That's not the proper way to do it. The proper way to do it is to approach it from the mental angle. This is a next level experience for you. So you need to withdraw from the world. So that's the first one. Get into the isolationist mentality. You're not serving others now. You're not having to go out and do other things now. This is you. This is the ultimate you day. So it's time for you to withdraw from the world, to come into your own mind and set up camp there. This is where you divide the line between you and all the stimulus and all the pleasure and all the work obligations and all the daily grind. You're not thinking about having to take that speaker system back to Lowe's because you bought the wrong one. You're not thinking about having to repaint the kids' room because they wrote on the wall, and the little nieces ruined the carpet as well. You're not thinking about that because that's for the grind. That's for the normal obligations. You're not thinking about that business meeting that committee you have to prepare for next week like I do. It's not a part of my agenda for today. Today begins my 1.5 day fast. Actually, I'm probably going to do 2 days. I do about 2 days a week and of a straight fast, or just usually 1 or 2 of those one day or a following day in a strict OMAD fast. So I'll do 1 or 2 straight water fasts followed by a 1 meal a day fast. And I have been able, by the way, to put on a good inch to my arms. I have been able to gain a lot of muscle because the growth hormone goes up. And I feel really great. I've gotten stronger. I've added about 85 pounds to my bench press. But that's part. I'm not going to work out when I'm fasting. So I am going to think about me. So first of all, is the isolationist mindset. Think of yourself as a prisoner. How you would react if you were trapped in a room, 8x5 little cell, and all you had was tap water in your mind. That's the headspace to be in. You ain't going anywhere. That's the first thing. The second is kind of like a bear, another analogy. When they're in hibernation, they're just lying around a cave, milling around. They're occupying themselves with menial tasks. All of those other tasks that you didn't get to in the week, you say, I need to do this, I need to do that, but they're not that important. I need to watch that documentary my cousin keeps telling me about. I need to go to the office maybe and put up a new pretty banner for the coming season, something that's not very important. Now you get to all of that because this is how you make yourself a better person. You have time for you. You have time to lay down and look at the walls. People think I'm crazy. I just stare at walls sometimes. I'll lay in bed when I get up for 20 minutes. I'm not sleeping. I'm not hurrying. I'm appreciating every breath. So this is a form of meditation. I'm going to sit here and my water is going to help me focus on all of the little things that we leave behind every day. And we bang on the horn in traffic and say, I've got to be somewhere. That's the wrong attitude. Forget the stoplight, forget the obligation, forget the attendance policy at work. This is your day. Pick a day, by the way, that's where you can dedicate to you. If you can't, if you do have other obligations and you're still having trouble, just pace yourself in a way that's going to produce the least stress. So that's the first thing. Get the isolationist mindset. Second thing, which we kind of covered together here, slow way the heck down. Can't stress that enough. You do not have to do anything. If you do have to do something, get to it on your time. Pretend you're a teenager again. You just kind of milling around doing what you want. You need times like that. So those are the two big things that if you will understand, and if you apply them, then those will help you. Number 3, no judgment. Do not look back at your past mistakes and think, I can't, I should be making more money. I married the wrong person. I've got plenty of my own mistakes, which you'd have to pay me a lot of money to share. But I can reflect on them too. No judgment of anyone else or yourself. This is the you time. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, am I living someone else's dream? Am I doing, oh, okay, you are? Forgive yourself and understand that everything going forward will be different. Why? Because you know the difference now. And you know that you shouldn't hate yourself for it. This is about self-acceptance, and it sounds kind of cheesy, but it's something you have to remind yourself of. You accept yourself where you are in the here and now because there is no moment like now. One of the most powerful lessons I have ever learned came from the movie Saw 2. And it wasn't that great a movie, but there is a scene in it when Jigsaw, the killer, is explaining to the detective who's trying to get information from him. He said because he found out he had cancer, he realized when the clock was going to go off and he was going to have his last day. So he spent all of his time knowing that every sip of water, that's the exact analogy he used, would taste different because he feels it, because he knows his time is short. That's the headspace you want to be in. You want to appreciate every trip to the bathroom. You want to appreciate every time you have to change the batteries in the remote at the TV because they ran out and you knew you needed to do it earlier and you didn't. Those moments that you miss are the things you want to revisit when you're fasting. Maybe go and just play with your kids, or maybe go and do something that you characteristically would not do. So number 3 is no judgment. Number 4 is start thinking and looking to notice other things. Go for a nature walk. And I don't mean the typical occupy yourself with the audio book to make yourself smarter. No, that's part of the productivity zone. You're out of the productivity zone. Read a novel. Do something that tends to do an art project. Do something that tends to the creative side in your walk. Take several walks throughout the day, but you're going really slow, and what your goal is to do is to stop. Look at your neighbors' houses. Notice who is in the neighborhood. You want open spaces because that expands your mind. Go take the kids to the park and let them play. Just watch their behavior. Go to Starbucks. I've been known to do this. Go to Starbucks when I'm out and about waiting for something or doing something else. I'm going to sit there and just watch people's behavior. And you know what? I'm going to strike up a conversation with someone who is a complete stranger. And we're going to have fun because there's no pressure. There's no obligation. And I'm going to do it. And at first it feels weird, but I'm just going to do it because I'm seeking a bond. I'm opening myself. That's the real magic. That's the real power. That's the real expansion of the mind. It brings you back to moments like when you're in the shower and you have a really brilliant idea and you say, I need to do that. The reason you're in that space is because you're in the fasting, what is similar to the fasting mindset, but you want to exacerbate it. You want to get it more than that. Then you want to do this. You want to say, is it time to lay around again? Maybe lay in the recliner. Just listen to music. Music is a great way to meditate. People don't think of it as meditation. I don't meditate in the conventional sense. I just fast. I'm going to take a sip here. Don't ever gulp. Don't ever rush. Take your time. Enjoy yourself. and understand that there's no wrong in that. Listen to music. It strikes us as weird because society always pushes us forward to do something else, and it drives us nuts. But the best thing you can do, the best thing, is to understand that all of the things that you ignore are the things that on your deathbed you will want to have done. You will want to have taken more time with drinking invisible tea with your nieces or your kids, or all of the things that you said I'm too busy to do. The water fast is one of the greatest ways to tap in, to open that third eye, to use a mystic language, which I generally don't use. To get to that next level, it's all about balance. Balance, however, cannot be obtained unless you are going way out of your way to understand that sometimes the pressure is off, and it needs to be off, because your being here, you're part of the life cycle like anything else. So enjoy your water fast and understand that you deserve to be here, and there's no judgment in that.